Alright, now that you've got your microSD card formatted, what you can do is you can go to the RetroPie project. It's part of Pet Rock Blogs projects, and here it gives a little bit more information about what the RetroPie project is, what it entails. There's a couple ways you can download it. There's a way that you can use the setup script and install it yourself through compiling it or downloading binaries. And you'll do that on top of Raspbian and Noobs. But I found the easiest way is to use the SD card images that they provided. So on the main page there's a selection down here for downloads. I'll provide a link for that below. On the downloads page there's two images, as of right now anyways. They change depending on updates and other things, but the first one is the RetroPie project SD card image for Raspberry Pi 1. So that involves an image for Raspberry Pi B+, Raspberry Pi A, Raspberry Pi Model B. Those, the ones, all the Raspberry Pis, that's what that one's for. And then this second one, RetroPie project SD card image for Raspberry Pi 2, that's the most recent one that just came out last month, and it is for the Raspberry Pi Model 2B, whatever it's called. That's one I just got in the mail, so that's the one I'll be using, but make sure you pick the right one or else it might not boot when you install it onto your microSD card. So I've got it downloaded. The first thing you want to do once you get it downloaded is you're going to want to look at your file, and you can see that it's a .gz file, and that's not going to be useful to create a bootable image with. So what you're going to need to do is download a program called 7-zip, and I'll provide the link in the description below for that as well. But you can use something else as well that will extract .gz files, pretty much any. There's a couple software programs out there for that, but I like to use 7-zip. So once you get installed, it'll give you an option right here in your drop down menu to use 7-zip, and you can click extract here or wherever your file's at. So you extract it, and then I've already extracted it, so it wants to replace it, but it'll extract it, it'll go green until it's done, and then you'll get an image file like this, and it'll be a .img, and then that's the file that you're going to use to put onto your microSD card so that you can boot up RetroPie. So in order to put this on your microSD card, again you're going to need some more software, sorry about that, but it's a little bit of a process, but it's quite simple. So the software that I use to create a bootable image is called Win32 Disk Imager. Also provide a link below for that. You got to make sure once you start it up that you run it as an administrator, otherwise it won't work. So that's very important to remember. So yes, you want to run it. Yes, I know I might break something. Understand. Okay. So again, just like when we were formatting a microSD card, you need to make sure that you have the right drive. This one only gives me my microSD card anyway, so that's good. And what you'll want to do is you'll click on this folder here, and you can choose your image file that you just recently extracted. So in my case it's the RetroPie 2 disk image, so you press open, and then all you got to do is click write, and then you just want to make sure that that's what you want to do, and so you click yes, that's really what you want to do. So it will start to write the image to the microSD card, and then once it finishes you should be able to plug it right into your Raspberry Pi, boot it up, and it should start into Emulation Station, which we'll talk about in further videos. Just quick tip for later, once you've got your RetroPie all established and configured the way you want it, you might want to create a backup of your microSD card. And this is also the way that you do it, but instead of clicking write, you plug in your microSD card and you click read. But first you're going to want to make sure you name the file and pick where you want it, and make sure it's a .img, and then you'll click read, and then it will basically create a clone of your microSD card. So if you ever corrupt your microSD card or you have problems, you don't have to go through the whole configuration process again. You can just go right back and put the image that you booted right back onto your microSD card or onto a new one, and it saves you a lot of trouble that way. So next we're going to talk a little bit about what you see once you start booting up your Raspberry Pi.